Alright, Sajivani, you are one of the better speakers that I've seen. I would say one of the best, judging based on just your P1 alone. When you came up there, you effortlessly can captivate the crowd. And today you went and approached a very personal topic. So it makes it especially challenging to evaluate a topic like this, because this is something that's coming from the heart. And one thing that makes it particularly challenging is that you employed a lot of my favorite techniques that I like to see in people's speeches and to use in speeches of my own. The one thing, using a story. Storytelling is the most effective medium to communicate a story, an idea. And you didn't just come out there and say that, oh, my nickname is Sonia, it's my middle name, given to me by my grandfather. You built up an elaborate backstory. You spoke about how you got the name, how your granddad identified skin color together with Sonia Gandhi, and then you created an entire world that drew us in. And that's one particular strength you had, this idea of world building. You spoke about how your grandfather would take the bread, the baguette, dip into tea, and you could almost taste it in your mouth. It's a rich sensory experience. So these are very effective techniques that I would encourage you to keep using. Keep using them. Most other speakers don't have a natural affinity for that. You do. And the third thing that you did very well was a sudden shift in tone. When you mentioned the suicide, I could imagine everyone in the room who was maybe fiddling their phones or their eyes were elsewhere, they all just stopped and you got back their attention. The areas that you could improve upon. I could tell that for most part of the first bit, you were a bit nervous. You were rooted to the ground. Later on, I think you kept smiling even though you were talking about the suicide. Maybe it's hard to grapple these emotions. These are things that I get it, you can't really help it. It's things that I can't imagine even the most experienced speaker being able to avoid. But there are things that you can do to kind of work around it. For one, I can suggest building up a certain element of tension when you begin your speech. So what I might have done was, I would have put up a picture of Sonia Gandhi. Just put it up there and waited for a few seconds. Let everyone wonder what's going on? Why Sonia Gandhi? What's this got to do with the rest of the speech? And then introduce the story, talking about how you were named after Sonia Gandhi. I might even have started with, I was named after this woman, but right now, I don't use that name anymore. And using a repetition at the end, I would have concluded it like how you did. The Sonia is no more. Something to the extent. I would have also trimmed a bit of the fat around the story. There were certain elements like when you mentioned how when you were 7 years old and you had a premonition about your grandfather's death. I get it, when the story is deeply personal, you want to tell all the details to make sure the audience gets exactly what you went through. But that's the difficulty in being an effective speech maker. You have to realize what you have to cut and trim away. Overall, I think you did an excellent job, and I want to see your next speech. And I think if you keep what you're doing, you're going to do an excellent job. Thanks, Sajivani.